All right. This one says practice. And there's two. This must be about practice. Jacob A. And come on, Singstad Muse? Anyway. Jacob says, how long would you recommend practicing, and what could you do in that time? Such as first hour practice, basic, long tones, etc. And then after would be etudes to help your overall playing. What would you say based on your personal opinion and a professional's perspective on practicing? Singstead says, how often do you practice? What do you work on when you practice? I stopped thinking about it as practice a long time ago and just playing. So warming up is just what I have to do to be ready to play. I know some people need to warm up a lot. I'm not one of those people, at least not yet. I know sometimes when people get older, they realize they can't just pick up the horn anymore. At this point, I kind of can. If I'm doing a performance for people, then I will warm up a little bit just to make sure everything works. If I'm playing in the morning, I warm up a lot. I don't really work in the morning, just at all. My body is not ready. But yeah, so if I'm playing in like the afternoon or evening, I can kind of just pick it up and go. I know people hate me for it, but hey. And then the practicing, yeah, I just kind of see it as playing. And that may be playing the same thing over and over and over until you get it right, which a lot of people would just say is practicing. But I don't know. It puts me in a different place where it's not okay to make mistakes. And you should really try, because you're playing, you're not practicing. And on the other hand, it's fun to play, and it sucks to practice. So, here's another thing that I did my junior year of college, which some of you know was when I started figuring out how to practice. I stopped forcing myself to practice. Before that, I would go to the music building and go into a practice room and basically lock myself in there for 4 hours, because that was this weird conservatory training. You should all be practicing 4 hours a day. That's not true. I think 2 hours of the most focused practice you've ever done is way better than 6 hours of unfocused practice. So yeah, my first 2 years I would lock myself in the practice room and basically just sit there staring at a sheet of music. I would play piano. I wouldn't be getting anything done. And then when I figured it out, I would have a few things that I needed to do. I would go into the practice room and I would do it, and then I would leave. So the main thing that I stopped doing was forcing myself to practice. I would force myself to want to practice by getting myself amped up for it, and I still do that. Yeah, I mean, I still, whether it's recording or whatever, be like, I think I'm just gonna call it a day, go to bed. And then I either do that, wake up and hit it in the morning, or I go, no, I'm going to get back at it and I'm gonna accomplish all this stuff, rather than, this is something that you hear all over conservatories, I really need to practice, or I should be practicing. And that's the worst thing ever. I want to just give them all big double-decker knuckle sandwich that looks like this. Pow! Because if you really no. Stop complaining about playing music. Stop it. It's so much fun. Even if you're playing long tones or whatever. It's a blast. So when you talk about playing etudes, practicing etudes, and practicing long tones, I see them as playing etudes and making music and trying to do all these things, trying to say something through this. And if it's long tones, then it's trying to iron out some fuzz that's in your sound so you can communicate better. It's just a different way of thinking about it, which makes accomplishing things a lot easier. practicing is important, but don't force yourself to do it because then you'll start hating music and then it's kind of over. Hope that helps. Play, don't practice. Ah!